Oxford Cove by Iman Development in JVC. I made a video recently. 90% of the project got sold out on launch date. In a situation like this, where there is a lot of skepticism and doubt in the market by a lot of people, not necessarily the sharp investors, but by people, if a project like that in a location like JVC, again where there is a lot of stigma around that location, if that can sell out 90% on launch date, it's not just because of the location or because of the city, it is because of the developer and because of the strong fundamentals of that project, right? This is not hype, this is actual data. Okay, now come back to the present. Today there are two projects. I mean, of course there's a lot of projects, but there are two trending projects as per what I noticed that a lot of investors, agents are promoting out there and talking about. One by the same developer that delivered or that launched Oxford Cove, Iman Development. They are launching 113 Residences in Al Sufu, and the other by Beyond Development, that is creating a lot of buzz in the market, Arancia The Yards by Beyond Development, and they are launching in this location right here next to us in Dubai land, City of Arabia. So in today's video we are going to understand both of these locations, what fundamentals are there around these locations, and why I believe these two projects are one of the strongest investment opportunities in today's market. First project that we are going to talk about is Arancia The Yards by Beyond Development. Let's understand the location. So that infrastructure that you see, that is the IMG World of Adventures. Next to that, around that location you have the project by Majid Al Futtaim, Garfoods, and this right next to us, this is the plot for Arancia The Yards by Beyond Developments. Just to understand, this plot is over 2 million square foot, or rather over 200,000 square meters of a plot next to this. Imagine more than 60% of this plot is going to be greenery by a developer like Beyond, who is a sister concern of Ellington. The group has delivered some phenomenally great projects in Dubai, the likes of the one at Palm Jumeirah, the Opus at Business Bay. Just to understand how magnificent this developer is, I mean, if you have been following the Dubai real estate market, or if you are an investor, you probably would know Beyond. They have done some phenomenally great projects launched in various locations. Dubai Maritime City, they are building a city of its own in Dubai Maritime City. It's beautiful. It's not something that any developer can easily replicate. So that is the kind of developer. And just to understand about this project, the architects of this project is HBA Architects. Just to give some context, they are the same people who are behind the interior design of Jumeirah Marsal Arab in Jumeirah, right? So that is the kind of developer that we are talking about, and this is the location. We will drive around the location and further understand why concepts like this along this corridor is emerging, and why it is important for you as an investor, and why it is a good investment opportunity. Before that, where I'll just give you I'll just give you a brief, and when we drive along we will understand in detail. The price per square foot for this project is sitting at around between 1,400 dirhams plus, right? Projects with similar green concept, if you understand Gulf Foods and even Seventh Heaven, which is already ready, but it's a predominantly green community. Projects with similar concept, similar caliber, have already appreciated even while they are still in off plan, for example Gulf Foods, and 30 to 40% above this price, they are already there, right? In a time like that, you get, if you are an investor, you get to invest in a project that is 30 to 40% below the market rate for similar concept with a grade A developer, right? So that is the opportunity, also with a 40-60 payment plan. So that is the opportunity with this. We will understand further while we drive around the community. So the plan is to drive along Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Road, which is right behind the plot. So the plot is over there. So right behind the plot we have the Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Road. So the plan is to drive along Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Road a bit, understand why it is important. Let's try and drive into Al Barari, see how it is and why. Then you'll understand, okay, why this carries so much of importance, right? Before that, I want to explain one simple concept in investment. If I did not give any context, or if you don't have any context about the surrounding or about the fundamentals, if you just took a video of this, show them, take a video of this around this, right? If you just took a video of this, right, and if you just think, if you just look at this video, this part of the video, and if you try to understand this location, you would probably misjudge the location, misjudge this location, right? Because there is, in a city like Dubai where there is so much traffic and there is so many people, this area feels deserted. Seems like nothing is happening here, right? However, if you understand the fundamentals of this location, which is right next to one of the most strategic road networks and right next to one of the most prime communities, it's totally different, right? So that is how investments work. You should pick and choose communities or projects or locations that on the very outset look very boring, just like this, with strong fundamentals. That is where you win the game, right? So over there, that is IMG World of Adventures. So now we are driving towards Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Road. That project is Gulf Foods. This plot that you see, this is Gulf Foods by Majid Al Futem Development. As I said, this is again a predominantly green community. Then we have the new project Arancia. Now we are driving towards Seventh Heaven in Al Barari. I just want you to show what people are willing to pay for something like a concept like this, right? This is Mohammed bin Zayed Road. So see how close it is to Mohammed bin Zayed Road. Just 3 to 5 minutes of a drive and then you are on the main highway. Yet, I mean, if you look at how busy this road is, right? Yet contrast it with where we were standing. This is what I was meaning when I said, if without any context, if you try to understand that, you would feel like it's deserted. But no, this is IMG World of Adventures. This is Mohammed bin Zayed Road, and next to it we have the project. So it's all connected, right? So what I wanted to say is, what we need to understand, why is so many green projects. Off the top of my head, I can think of this project, Arancia The Yards. You have Gulf Foods, you have Al Barari on that side, we are going to go there. Then you have Sakura Living by HRA Development. All these projects are like over 60% greenery. So why is so many predominantly green community projects along this corridor? Why is that? That is where the investment, that is what you need to understand as an investor, because you are not just investing into a project, you are investing into the vision of the government. That being that the government is building a green spine along this road, 64 kilometer long green spine along this road, where there is going to be a lot of There's going to be a lot of greenery along the, I mean, if you look at the renders, you'll understand that there's going to be a lot of greenery. There's going to be transport loops, networks completely empowered by solar energy. There's going to be walking tracks, running tracks, and it is a green spine. So as part of the vision of the government to make this a sustainable city with a lot of greenery, this is one of the main corridors that contributes to that vision, right? Hence, these developers are coming up with predominantly green communities along these corridors. That is a bigger picture, right? That is the reason why I believe this. That's one of the reasons why I believe these investments, or particularly this investment, in addition to all this that we mentioned, with that price point, is a good investment, right? Now one other thing that I will also show, since we are driving through Al Majan. So this is Al Majan. Now we are driving through Al Majan, and on the other side of Al Majan you have the Al Barari community, right? If you look at the resale prices of this community, the price per square foot, we are looking at around 1,200 dirhams per square foot, or 1,300 dirhams per square foot, maybe 1,400 resale, I mean, versus off-plan resales even in Gulf Foods is at least 15-20% higher than this. And the project that we are going to, Seventh Heaven, is trading above around 2,500 and plus dirhams per square foot. Why that difference when all these projects are located in almost the same location, not that far, right? That is another thing that investors need to understand, because investment is not just about the location. Like when I talk about Dubai land with many investors, the main thing that I hear is it's in the middle of nowhere. Why would you pay a premium for that location? Well, it's not the location, it is a concept that the people pay the premium for. That is what it's business, where you can buy something in this location, in this community for 1,000, 2,300 dirhams per square foot, versus you have to pay over 2,500 dirhams per square foot to buy an apartment right next to this community in Al Barari. That's the difference. Okay, so we are driving parallel to Al Barari. I mean, if you look at the road, you can understand it's very different. I mean, this doesn't look like Middle East. This is not the picture that you get when you say Middle East, right? That building over there, that is Seventh Heaven. These buildings is Seventh Heaven. This is just I just wanted you to show kind of what you can expect. Not exactly this. It's what Beyond is trying to build is something much better than this, because if you understand that this project, this is on the border of Al Barari community. Inside this you have the Al Barari community, which is a predominantly green community. However, Arancia The Yards by Beyond, it's just apartments, so it is at the center of it. So it is in the middle of the greenery, because it is just apartment, and that is the primary focus. With Al Barari, apartments are not the primary focus. However, yet these apartments have appreciated a lot. I mean, look at the road, the greenery in this community. This is not exactly 100% what you are going to expect, but the reason why I came here is to show the potential. Like, people are willing to pay 5, 6, 7 million plus for a 2-bed here, right? 2 million, 3 million plus for a 1-bed, because of this concept, right? And then you get a 1-bed starting from 1 million at Beyond Arancia The Yards. That is the gap. Now we have come to the plot of 113 Residences by Iman Development. Before understanding the plot and the location, a bit about the legacy of Iman Development that I believe would be important. Iman Development is not a developer that that does a lot of marketing or promotion. They are very silent, but they have consistently delivered over 50% of appreciation in all their projects for the previous investors by the time and post handover, right? And over 10% of ROI on average on all their previous projects. And they don't launch that many projects a year. They launch quite a few. However, whatever they launch, they make sure their investors win. That is what Iman Developers is, and even the number of units that they launch is very less, 200, 300 units per project. That is what they launch. Now let's go and understand the plot. This over here that you see, this is the plot of Iman Development 113 Residences. So why is this plot strategically important? You see some hoardings there, some advertisement boards. You can see the backside of those boards. Those boards are facing the Sheikh Zayed Road, the main lifeline of Dubai. So this is just one row behind Sheikh Zayed Road, yet you don't have to worry about the traffic or the congestion in here. It's very calm and quiet. This is the plot of Iman Development. Well, now the project itself is unique, as in the interiors are by interior flooring and tilings are by Versace, and the developer itself has a track record of delivering phenomenally great returns to their investors. So the price per square foot of this project is around 2,500 dirhams per square foot, which again, just like the previous project that we discussed, is, when you compare below market for a project of this similar caliber. All these buildings that you see around, these are all old buildings. You cannot actually compare this with these buildings. This plot right here, this is Shahrukhs by Danube, which was a sellout project again. Main reason being that it was a commercial building. It was entirely commercial. Imagine Shahrukhs by Danube is a high-rise commercial building, and there is going to be offices, obviously, because it's commercial, right? And all these buildings around us, they are currently occupied and rented. And Shahrukhs by Danube is going to come here, a whole commercial building. People working in this commercial building are going to need places to live, right? And this project is right across the road next to it. So this is one of the target audiences, or the target tenants are going to come from this very project right next to your building itself, Shahrukhs by Danube. Then you have lawsuits here. Now, right next to it, we have the Sheikh Zayed Road. As I said, developer pedigree wise, hands down, one of the best developers. And that is the reason why, as I said in the beginning, Oxford Cove by this same developer, 90% of the stock sold out on day one, on launch day, at an average location like JVC, right? I mean, it speaks for itself. Investors, when they invest, particularly during these times, they do a lot of research. And for them to invest in a project like that and to make sure that project is a sellout, then there is something very strong behind that developer, right? Right, now let's understand this location from a different angle. This area is called Al Sufu, right? Further down we have the Sheikh Palace area further down. On this behind us is the coastal line. So this side we have the Burj Al Arab. You cannot see it from here, but when you drive along this road you can see that. Now this set of buildings, this is where we were standing behind this, right? So our plot was next to these buildings in between, and this is called Al Sufuk Garden. These villas and all this area is called Al Sufuk Garden, and that is the only freehold area in this entire Al Sufuk area, right? So that itself speaks volumes to it. Now in terms of demand anchors, we understood that location, the plot next to it, next to that you have the Sheikh Zayed Road, and you had the Shahrukhs by Danube, a commercial building, right? Now, if you understand those towers, that area, that is Internet City, right? Those two pointy towers over there, that is Business Central Towers. Next to it, you have the S Towers. In front of that, you have the headquarters or the offices of Google, Amazon, Oracle, Microsoft, and so on and so forth. Now, if you understand where those people live, because that area there's not many residential options, all commercial, right? That's a commercial hub. Next to it, you have the Knowledge Village, which is an academic hub. So that area, you don't have that many residential options, right? If you understand where those people live, most of them live in JLT, next to the Sheikh Zayed Road, which is also on that location opposite the Sheikh Zayed Road. But for them to drive from this location to JLT, which is a 7 to 10 minute drive if there is no traffic, during peak hours, sometimes it takes even 30 to 40 minutes for them to drive from here to there, right? That is a problem. However, due to the proximity and due to the lack of availability of residential options around this location, for those people, they choose to live there. Not everyone, but a significant number of them. Now imagine these two areas are in the same side. So even during peak hours, I was driving yesterday from my office, which is located in Internet City, to this plot. It took me around 10 minutes, right? It showed around 8 to 10 minutes of a drive. Now that is a game changer, right? So I just wanted to talk to you about that, because you are going to get a significant number of people working in that area, Internet City, who would prefer living in a project like this. Because if you understand this area, Al Sufu, there is not really that many residential options of that caliber to match what Iman is delivering. JLT has. That is another reason why people working in Internet City prefer living in JLT. So if a developer is able to deliver that in a location like this, then I believe there is going to be a lot of demand for this project from a tenant profile and even from an end user profile. People would like owning one of these units once it is ready, right? So that is a bit about this project, this location. So we covered, I believe, the locations of both trending projects that are being spoken about a lot in today's in the current Dubai real estate market. One is 113 Residences, and the other one is Arancia by Beyond, right? I firmly believe these projects have some pretty strong investment fundamentals. They are sitting at some very interesting price point, very interesting payment plan, 40/60, 50/50, right? Very attractive payment plan. Yes, so that's a bit about today's video. If you are interested to explore further, understand the numbers, feel free to reach out to me. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe and like this video. That would mean a lot to me and give me a bit of inspiration to keep producing valuable content for you and other interested investors and audience. Having that being said, signing off until next time.